Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 62, and we will inshallah start our session with a quick review of whatever we have learned in our last session. I will just, before I start the review, I will just want to go over the lam, the types of lam, and just, as we have learned that lam is there for what purpose? Who can remind me? What is the purpose of lam in a jumla ismi or jumla failure? If you see it, what does it do to your sentence? Tawqeed, right? It is there for emphasis, right? It brings emphasis, or tawqeed. It adds more emphasis to your sentence, right? So one lam, if it is at the very beginning of the sentence, and you can call it lamul ibtida, which is the same lamul tawqeed. Okay, if somebody calls it lam tawqeed, it is correct too. There is nothing wrong with that answer. Okay, at the beginning, people just learn it as Lami Tawqeed. And then they are taught that, now here it is doing the it can be called Ibtida, or it can be this the same Ibtida. The same Ibtida becomes Muzahlaqa if it is seen with Inna. If it is seen with Inna, the same Lam becomes Lamul Muzahlaqa. Why? Did I tell you why is it called Muzahlaqa? What was the English name that I told you? Yes, it slides. It's a sliding lam. It slips now. What happens is now it's not no more at the beginning. If it attaches to ismu inna, if it attaches to ismu inna, it slides it to the end. If it attaches to khabru inna, it attaches to it to the end. Khabar is supposed to be at the end, right? But sometimes it may be before your mubtada. You have seen that, right? Sometimes your khabar or mutalik bil khabar can be before your mubtada. But if lam is attached to either one of them, to ismu inna or khabru inna, this lamul muzahlaqa, the sliding lam, if it attaches itself to either the ism of inna or khabar of inna, what will it do? It will slide it to the end, right? It's a sliding lam. It's the now that whatever is attached to lam is going to be sliding itself towards the end of the sentence. Make sense or no? There may be something after it, but it's going to be related to whatever is right before it. I will show you many examples of that, but for now, remember that. So here we can see inna fi dhalika la ayatan. Why is this more inna towards the end of the verse? If I ask you this question, if I give you this question in the test, what will be your answer? And I don't need Arabic answer. I need a simple, plain answer. Very simple answer. Because of the lam, right? Because of the lam, it is slid, right? Because now sliding lam is attached to the to ismu inna, right? Sliding lam is attached to ismu inna, right? Lamul muzahlaqa is attached to ismu inna. That is why it is slid towards the end. Okay, because my word has a sliding lam attached to it. Easy. And it's the same lamul ibtida, which is called lamul muzahlaqa when it comes with inna. Same lamul ibtida that we just saw here, this same lamul ibtida, because I told you the translation is the same. Translation is the same, purpose is the same here. But it does is when it comes with inna, the same very lam starts sliding things towards the end of the verse. Here attached to khabru inna is after ismu inna because lam is attached. Now khabru inna cannot be before ismu inna. Okay, even if it was inna ayatan lil haqu, it will be inna ayatan lil haqu. It cannot be inna lil haqu ayatan. That will be wrong. That will be wrong because this lam has to take whatever is attached to it towards the end. Am I clear with that? Is it understood? Khabar was haq. There is an ismu inna and there is a khabru inna. Right? One is a ismu inna and khabru inna. Like, here you saw an ismu inna and yarshuduna, your jumla fi'liya was khabru in la'alla, whatever is there. But lam comes with inna. Okay? Lam of emphasis comes with inna. So there is a, if there was, if I just give you this verse to label it without focusing on lam, who is going to be your ismu inna and hakku is going to be what? Because we are looking at jumla ismiya, khabar, right? Sister Anas, are you with me? Who is ismu inna, hakku is the khabru inna. Now understood? Lam is attached, it will slide now. It will, with its, whatever is it attaches itself to, whatever it attaches itself to, it can attach itself to a fail too. As I told you in the past session, that it can attach itself to a fail, to a harf, to an ism, all three. So if it attaches itself to a fail, everything, whichever form it attaches itself to, it is going to be towards the end of the verse. Yes. Anyways, the order was also the mubtada is first and then comes your khabar. That is supposed to be the order. But when lam comes, whatever is with the lam has to go later in the verse. And I will show you a big example of that, inshallah, and it will be all clear. Let me show you that example here. Bismillah. Why is it so big? Because of what I did to it. Okay, 1 second. Let me just make it a little bit smaller than it is right now because it's too big. Oh, yeah. So now it's better. And I can enlarge it for you all, but let me just take out the verse first, find the verse, and then I will enlarge it for all of you. It's fine, just real quick. And in the meantime, whosoever has memorized their Ism Mawsul and gone over the Ism Mawsul table, let me know. Type 1 if you have, while I'm finding the verse and I'm bringing it to you. Okay, Baqarah, verse number 163. Okay. 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 Can you see here? So only 2 people have gone over their Ism Mawsul. Rest, I think already knew them and they are very well versed with them. I think that could be the reason. I don't see many ones here. Okay. So inna. Now what is my job? I have to look for what? When I see an ism, I will have to know. Inna is a harf. I have to look for ismu inna. My first job is to look for ismu inna, right? It's not mubtada. Harf cannot be mubtada. It's la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. When I see inna, I have to look for ismu inna. Where is my ismu inna? Yes, Sister Amrish, yes, I know you've spotted it, but let them let's see if they are able to spot it in the verse. Now there's a distance between inna and this is the longest distance ever. I don't know why I chose this verse to show you an example, but very well done. So Azra, you have done this verse as well with me. So very well done still, because Arabic, without revision, you do not remember a word of it. If you were not to revise these concepts, they will evaporate. Just like you know, in a hot summer day, you put some water outside. You put some water outside. Same is the case with Arabic in any science, you know, in case of Quran, you know, it's like a camel. You have to hold tight. Remember that. Okay. So yes, my dear sisters, whosoever has found la ayatin, la ayatin, la ayatin, that is your ismu inna. Did you notice the distance between inna and its ism? Inna and its ism. So now in between inna and its ism is what? في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي everything is now متعلق بالخبر. So what are you going to call this lam? This is lamul ibtida, but what name do you want to give it? Because what did it do to your ismu inna? It slid it. It slid it towards the end of the word. So isn't it the sliding lam? Is it the name not correct for this lam? The sliding lam? Now it slid the ayatin towards the very end of the verse. Is it clear, my dear sister? Okay, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I'm glad that this is something that you have understood. And now there is one thing which, if you don't remember, it's okay. But this is something that you will be challenged with. So I will just quickly go over it. You know, something has been done to my slides, and now they are looking like, you know, the lams are separated, because whenever there isn't some editing done, it is, you know, something happens here, but that's okay. But you got the concept. You have the, you know, I have, you know, why is the lam separate from the word, but just get the point here. You know, have you ever come across your in Quran, and it translates as beshak in Urdu, and it translates as indeed in English? Have you seen that in? Many times you are very confused about it, and now if you learn this today, you will never be. And I remember when I started word to word, I knew nothing about Arabic. So these concepts, and they will come, and I will be always translating the in as if. So that's not a right answer. No, it's not going to be if in this case. If you see in your sentence, if you see in your sentence, and that is followed by this lam, that is translated as surely, lam with fatha, lam with fatha, lam with fatha, lam with fatha. This in is actually, your inna, the very inna that you have been learning about, harufe nasiba, that bring emphasis. That is why it is translated as indeed. It is translated as indeed, and this lam is there in addition to in, to help distinguish this in from another in that you have learned in the past. Remember, there are 3 kinds of in that I have taught you so far. Who can remind me of them? Start typing. I will wait for you. There are 3 types of in after this in. If you include this one, there are 3 types of in that we have learned. Very well done. In nafia, not nahi, right? Zarina, you mean nafia, right? In nafia, right? So in nafia you have learned. In jazima you have learned, not nasiba, right? You have learned in jazima because it makes mudare after it majzoom, right? It's a condition, it sets a condition as well. We have not gone over condition yet, but if you do this, then this will happen. Make sense or no? Everyone with me so far? You have learned 2 in. One is called in nafia, which means no, and easy way to identify it is going to be No, not nasiba. The in is not nasiba. Let's, in jazima is for lil mudari. In jazima is lil mudari, for mudari, right? So one is in jazima for mudari, right? That is your very first in that you have been taught. Then I taught you negation, and I talked about in nafiya. That is 99% of cases followed by illa, if you remember. In nafiya is followed by illa, if you remember. Go back to your negation slides. Those are very important slides. This in nafiya is as emphatic as your ma, remember, as your very strong negation. Very well done. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So we always need brushing up of these concepts. As I told you, water in a hot summer weather in Multan or a place like Lahore, where just think of water in June, and you have put it outside, it will all go away. By the end of the day, it's not going to be there. So keep hold on tight to your camel. You cannot not let it wander in the desert. If you lost it, you lost it forever. So that is how Quran is. Remember that, okay? And we are in the month of Ramadan, which is the month of Quran. And there's no way you can celebrate Quran, but just you celebrate Quran by learning it, by implementing it, right? So two ins, I hope they are clear by now. This is a third in. This was originally inna, which, what is the meaning of inna? Inna anna ka anna layta la lakinna. That inna means what? Indeed. And as Aisha was saying, that this, now you remember, you will put in that the first in, which is jazima, lil mudare, that it makes mudare madsum. Now this in is nasiba, but it is what kind of a nasiba? It acts only on what? Inna anna ka anna layta la alla lakinna. What do they act on? They act on the inna anna ka anna layta la alla lakinna. They act on ism, if you remember, right? Inna has an ism. Harf nasb wa ismuha. Harf nasb wa ismuha. Right? That's how we learned it. The first in that you learned in this course was in jazima lil mudare, for mudare, in that made mudare madzum. The second in was in nafiya, that is for negation of your jumla fi'liya. Comes before mudare and madi both. Has the power of ma, similar in meaning to ma. Third in that you are learning today is an in that is mukhaffafa, lightened form of your inna. The meaning of inna is indeed. How do you know? How will you spot this? You may start translating this in as negation. You may start translating this in as jazima, as if, but what will prevent you from doing that? That is what you are going to learn. There is a lam there, which is called lamul fariqa. Lamul fariqa. What is the meaning of farq? What is the meaning of farq? Difference, differentiation, something that differentiates one thing from another. So that is the whole purpose of Islam. This comes here, this is sitting here. And my dear sisters, now when you are doing your word to word, you should not have confusion. If you have in the beginning, lam followed by lam, this in is not going to be translated as no. It is not going to be translated as if. It is only and only going to be translated as indeed. Make sense or no? And this is an advanced concept, but most of you are in word to word. Most of you need word to word for your Quran, because you are learning all this to get the better comprehension of Quran. So it is very important that we introduce to you and we cater to you these concepts, right? So I'm not expecting you all to learn all these three types, but what my purpose of bringing this to you is that you can see this, and it may be a helpful tip for all of you that why I am translating this in as indeed. Okay, we are going to translate it as indeed indeed. Okay, let me show you an example of this in Surah Al-Baqarah. And may not, translation may not be exactly 100% the same, but maybe something similar. Okay, in 198. Okay, well, let me just go to 198 here. Translate here. The translation. Okay. And remember him by invoking Allah as he has guided you. And verily, did you notice that verily? Yes, but where is this verily coming from? In your word to word, mostly you have indeed, right? And from in. Okay, remember that. And why? What will help you determine that this is going to be now translated as verily or indeed? The lam there, lam fatha la. Okay, not lam in total. Okay, you don't confuse it. Lam is going to be there. That will help you distinguish. Okay, I just don't want you to be that it is always going to be lamin. No, it's only lam there. Lamul farika, distinguishing lam, distinguished it from in nahiya. And my dear sister Samina has put a whole note there. Let me just read it. Okay, so 3 types of in. First type is in nafiya. Okay, 99% times followed by illa. So it is a very strong negation, as strong as ma nafiya. Works on madi and mudare. Very well done. Everything correct. Then is in that is jazima lil mudare. For mudare, which is going to make your mudare majzoom and is going to set a shart, right? Then the third in that we are learning today is in mukhaffafa, which was basically your inna has been lightened for, and it is going to be always followed by lamul farika that will help you identify this in as in mukhaffafa that has been lightened in, translated same as inna, but you will see most of the time the ismu inna is missing there. You don't see ismu inna, right? Do you see one? Ismu inna, right? The ismu inna will be missing. It will be hidden. Mahzoof. Just like we see many mahzoof in the past as well. But only this concept is for your word to word help, okay? That you're in followed by lam, with this lam going to be labeled as lamul faraka, and in is going to be translated as indeed or verily or whatever people prefer in translation. Let me see what Sahih International has translated it as. Okay, because they have very their translation is mostly what we usually follow. For indeed you were before that among those stray. Indeed, they have translated this in as indeed. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Simple, easy. Don't get, just, start putting it on your musaf that if in is followed by lam, it's my in is that is wherever now you see it as an example, try to put it on your musaf so that you retain this, that why my in is now indeed and is not if it is not being translated as not, why it is translated as indeed, because this is in mukhaffafa. Okay, so that was that. And here we completed all 3 types of in, lam, and 3 types of in as well. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. You have completed 3 types of in and 3 types of lam as well, right? Everyone with me so far? So all 3 examples, you can see that in followed by lam, and you can check it for your, you have these slides with you. Look for the translation, and the rest of information that I have put it here is not what we need to go over. It is going to be taught in the later sessions. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I will teach you later. Okay, there is no rush about that. So today I am going to do one verse of review, and then I will take you back to what we were supposed to do. Remember, we started, I wanted to go over Ism Mausul with you all. Okay, because when we are going to practice, because Ramadan was for revision. This Ramadan is for revision, okay, and we need a lot of that. So let's start doing that. What are we going to label Rabbana as? Start doing it, my dear sisters. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the ever merciful. It's an idafa, and it is Can I call it now? You have made your mistake, and you are going to be responsible for it. Can I call this? Those sisters who have written it as mubtada only and only, they are going to tell me why this cannot be mubtada. Why cannot I cannot label it as mubtada? What is missing here? Tell me, my dear sisters. No, but that's another thing. That's for another day. Why this cannot be mubtada? We have gone over it. Yes, so Zora, this is Rabba is mansoob in status, nasb in status, not raf in status, my dear sisters. Always remember when you are taught, yes, no marfu status. So that is why you are being taught the way you are being taught, so that there is no confusion. It's not to make things complicated for you and tell you, okay, we are giving you a kind of a grammar that you have never heard of before, never learned of before. No, the purpose is to make you familiar with how a regular Arab will put Arab on their verses, okay, and to bring you closer to Quran, okay. So that is the whole point. Always remember that, okay. So I have been telling you, the mubtada is marfu. If it is mansoob, and there is a inna, I call it ismu inna. If it is mansoob because of inna anna ka anna layta lalla lakinna, I call it ismu inna, ismu ka anna, ismu layta, ismu lakinna, right? Or ismu la'alla. I label it like that, and it does not have any haruf and nasiba. So this cannot be your mubtada, right? This cannot be even taking place of your mubtada as an ism with inna anna ka anna layta la'alla lakinna do. Right? They were originally the mubtada of the sentence, but they inna anna ka anna layta la'alla lakinna came and they made them mansoob in status. They made them nasb in status, and now the name has changed. That concept we cannot even bring it here. Do we see any of haruf nasiba? Do we see it? So if we don't see haruf nasiba, we don't even worry about anything. We just say that the word is just nasb in status, so it cannot be mubtada. So I'm just going to label it as idafa for now, and I'm going to go over the concept of nida as just the few nida munada I'm going to teach you in the next session, inshallah. Okay, but not today. Now come to this word afrig. Afrig. Very well done. Dua, talb. We are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now, what helped you determine, Sister Samina, that this is my dua, this is my talb? I'm asking for something now. There's, what is a sign on this word? Very well done. That was the correct answer. Majzoom. My word is majzoom. And word should be majzoom in two cases. Either it is fail mudari. Do you see any sign of mudari here? This hamza can be, but this is not sign of mudari here, right? This is not sign of mudari here, right? Hamza can be, but it is not sign of mudari here. Remember that. This is the part of the fail, and this is fail amr. Or we are going to call it dua, as you have correctly labeled it, talb, dua, because we are asking our Rabb, right? And we ask our Rabb humbly, with utmost humility, right? Alayna. What is alayna? Real quick. Jar wal majroor. If you see jar wal majroor at this stage, what are we going to label it as? What were you told? Jar majroor and jar majroor and zarf is going to be labeled as mutalik bil. What kind of a sentence is this? Afriq. Now you are going to start your sentence from here, okay? Afriq, from Afriq. It's jumla fi'liya, isn't it? So now think about it. Should I call it MBK or MBF? MBF now, right? Sabran. Pour upon us. What do we need to be poured upon us? Sabran. Maful bihi. Wasabbit. Waw is atf, harf atf. Sabbit is going to be my matuf. Barakallahu feek. Another dua, right? And how do we know that this is another dua, talb, or by, it is a command form of a word? What helps us determine? The sakoon, right? My word is majzoom bis sakoon. Aqdamana, aqdamana. It is idafa, barakallahu fi. What is, now think about it, idafa. Now aqdamana means our feet. Is this a word that has anything to do with time and place? It is answering your what question, right? It has nothing to do with time and place, so we are going to label it as maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi, because it is, as you have rightly said, it is answering your what question, right? Wansurna. Wansurna. Hey, maf'ul bihi, yes. So another dua. We are making another dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So na. What is the status of na? Nasbin status. Very well done. Alal qawmil. Alal qawmi. Jar wal majroor. What should I label now? It's going to be mutalik bil fail. Al qawmil kafirin. Make connection. Make connection between al qawmil kafirin. Al mawsuf was sifa. Why is al kafirin a sifa for al qawm? What kind of a word qawm is? Where did we learn? Collect. Yes. Collective noun ism jama. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. What is a pronoun in afriq? Give me the pronoun in afriq. In afriq. 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 Anta. 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 Because when we are commanding this, al hamza cannot be the pronoun, right? Hamza pronoun is always going to be, if pronoun is there visible, it's always going to be where? At the beginning of the word, middle of the word, or at the end of the word? Tell me. End of the word. Never forget. That's why Ramadan is for revision, right? Inshallah. So now, in this case, remember, when you do your fail mudare second person, and my dear sisters, go over failul amr. If you have not gone over failul amr, it is very complicated as well. It has additional advanced concepts as well. But you can, I think, if you go to this video that is just on failul amr on our channel, if you just go where you just before you add nunu toki to failul amr, if you can just watch it till then, inshallah, I assure you, it will be helpful for all of you, inshallah. Remember, when you are doing the second person mudare, tansuru, tansurani, tansuruna, tansurina, tansurani, tansurna. The first word only does not have a pronoun visible. It is damir mustatir. Same will happen when the amr is made out of it. The second person is amr is also going to be with damir mustatir. What happens to the pronoun in sabbit? What's the pronoun in sabbit? Who is the doer of an action? And sabbit. No, ta is the root letter. You is the doer of an action. You is the doer of an action. It's not visible. It is mustatir. It is damir mustatir, hidden. Wansur. Who's the doer of an action in wansur? Same. You is the doer. It is mustatir. What is the status of you in all three cases in case of afriq? Sabit, wansur. What is the status of anta in all these three cases? What will be the status? Raf, nasb or jar. All three cases, it is going to be rough in status. All three cases will be rough in status. Everyone with me so far? because it's a doer, and every doer is rough in status. Every doer is rough in status. Okay? Okay. So now, Bismillah, just real quick. We have started it. It's a Mosul, and this is needed for our revision because it is going to come time and again in our verses. So we'll just, I know I promised that we'll only do revision, but just see how much we can understand in this session. Okay. Your Ism Mosul are all proper except man and ma, and those were not there in your table, if you remember. All your Ism Mosul are what? They are all proper. Will you all remember this? Okay, everyone with me so far. They connect what is after them to what is before them. What is their job? As the name indicates, waw, sad, lam, wasl. Huh? Wasl. From wasl, the word has come. So they connect. They connect what is after them to whatever is before them. They can be any ism, just like any ism. And we went over this in our last session. Like any ism can be raf, nasb or jar. Can ism also be raf, nasb or jar? And I will show you how. Okay? Tell me, do you agree with my statement that all of them can be raf, nasb or jar? They have a baby that is always attached to them. Just think of it as a child that is breastfed, how dependent they are on the mom. Okay? So they will always going to remain attached to them. So, and that baby is inseparable. Wherever they go, that baby is going to tag along. Think of a kangaroo and its belly, how the baby is going to be sitting in the belly all the time. This baby never comes out of the pouch, stays in the pouch all the time. Make sense or no? What do they have? They have a baby called Silatul Mawsul that is inseparable from them. And I will show you this baby. They, along with their Sila, make an ism. And we have done it in our last session. Man yasha'u was, an ism mawsul, man was ism mawsul, and yasha'u was the baby, which was whole sentence. And it just now became, we just gave man and a status, if you remember from the last week. But I don't expect each and every word or each and every verse to be in your mind. But, inshallah, we'll practice and you will understand how it works. Okay, so now there's a silatul mawsul that they have. Now that we have learned our basic jumla ismiya and jumla feiliya, basic ismiya and basic jumla feiliya, now I can tell you that silatul mawsul, which is the baby of ism mawsul that follows them, is right after them, no distance between them and their baby, is going to be right after them, and it can be your jumla feiliya. For example, allazina kafaru. So what kind of a sila is we are seeing here? Is a madi? It's fail. So is every fail not a complete sentence? Yes or no? It's a jumla failure here, right? Then allazina hum an salatihim sahun. What are we seeing here? Why don't I just make it? What are we seeing here? Jumla ismiya. Everyone with me? Jumla ismiya. So the silatul mawsul in this case is jumla ismiya. Then sometimes what can happen is that they can have jar wal majroor or zarf as their sila. For example, you see ma here. Can you all see ma here? Let me color it for you, because this is something that you are not very well versed with. So I'm going to highlight it. Ma and man is something that we did not go over in our first term. The rest all you know. Yes, it can be a whole long sentence. It can be like that. And we will learn step by step, just like baby steps we take. We'll learn it. There's no rush here. Just introduce yourself to this. It is saying, this slide is just welcoming you, that this is a welcome slide for Silatul Mawsul, and the three forms Silatul Mawsul can present itself as. It can either be a complete sentence, which can be Jumla Feiliya, it can be Jumla Ismiya, in case of, this sentence, you can see hum an salatihim sahun, and then it can be a fragment. It can be just a fragment, as you can see, ma ma'ahum. What is ma'a? Where did we learn ma'a? We have gone over this word. Yes, in our term one is a zarf. Yeah, it's a zarf idafa, right? So you just have this one chunk there, one fragment sitting there as salatul mawsul. Allazina min qablikum. What do you see here? Min qablikum. Jar wal majroor, and then there is an idafa. But is it a complete sentence? Do you see a complete sentence? No, it's a fragment there, and your sila can just be a fragment. Everyone with me so far? And this silatul mawsul is inseparable from its mother, that is ism mawsul. This silatul mawsul is inseparable from its mother, that is ism mawsul. Okay, sila will always follow wherever the mother goes. Okay, so now what else? At the level of a fragment, your ism mawsul is lamma. Yes, I will go back and we'll see. Let me see where. No. That is something else. This is another word. This lama is another word, and I will teach you that word, inshallah. You have learned one function of this word. You have learned this word as doing a different function. Who remembers where did we learn lama in our second term? In lam lamma, barakallahu fi, where it is making the fail after it majzoom. In that case, its meaning is not yet, right? Yes, there it is harf and it is la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Here it is performing another function, and inshallah I will teach you that as well very soon, inshallah. And that's a promise I have made to myself, so inshallah. Okay. So here we'll now come back to ism mawsul at a level of a fragment. Okay, my dear sisters. Lillazina. What do you think about lillazina? What's the status of lillazina? Allazina. What's the status of allazina, my dear sisters? Li is attached to it. What will be the status of allazina now? Now it is going to be jar because of li, right? Li made it majroor. Okay. Innal ladhina. What's the status of allazina? It is going to be nasb status. Everyone with me so far? Sirat allazina. Allazina. Give me the status. Majroor bil idafa. Right? Majroor bil idafa. It is mudaf ilayhi, so it is going to be majroor in status or jar in status. Everyone with me so far? So if there is harf jar before it, it is going to be majroor in status. If there is harf nasb before it, is going to be nasb in status. If it is mudaf ilayhi of an ism, it is going to be jar in status again. Fattakun nara allati waquduha an-nasu wal-hijara. Now think about it. Is there any way you can connect these two? An-nar and allati. And that is why you were supposed to memorize your ism mawsul from term 1. Connect these two. What is common between them? Yes. Al-mawsuf was sifa. Al-mawsuf was sifa. An-nar is feminine. Allati, ta. Word has ta, has something to do with feminine, right? In Arabic, feminine words love letter ta. And you is also loving ta as well, but for the most part, ta is mostly seen in the feminine words, right? So they're both feminine. Are they not both proper? Are they not both proper? Are they not singular? Allati was non-flexible. But if it works for me, if I make it nasb, it's going to match in all 4 properties. Can I call it nasb in status? I can, right? I am allowed. Because it works for me, it makes sense too. So you can see how is a mawsul at the level of a fragment. At the level of a fragment is coming up as a sifa. I don't see, one second. So Sabra, are you with me? I hope she can hear me. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Now, my dear sisters, take it to to another fragment. Matuf. How can it be matuf, my dear sisters? How it will work in at fragment. Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakumul lazi khalaqakum. Okay, now let me just make this connection for you. Or actually, you are going to find it. He created you all and those who came, and came you can add, because that is something, this is min qablikum is only the salatul mawsul, so I'm allowed in my translation to, if it makes sense, I can add that. Okay, I can add that much, but I'm not adding it, it's just to make things clearer for you. You may see in your translation came in parentheses, okay, just so that things make sense, and those who came before you all. Okay, so allazina, what will be the status of allazina here if there is an at fragment? What about the rest of the sisters? Sister Samina, I need the status for allazina here. What is the matuf alayhi for allazina? My dear sisters, what is the matuf alayhi? Kum is the matuf alayhi, and kum is nasb in status because of khalaqa kum. It is an attached pronoun with a fail. Kum is nasb in status, and so is allazina nasb in status. Everyone with me so far? You are going to just write kum is maful bihi. When you write harf atf, waw, harf atf, allazina matuf, it is understood that this is also something that, that is going to go along with your maful bihi. Make sense? Yes, because it's matuf, you will just write mansub bil waw, because because it is matuf, it is already understood. Whatever is happening with kum will happen with allazina, because they are connected through waw. Everyone with me so far? Did you notice how you can how this connected whatever is after it to whatever was before it? This connected, and we have not formed those connections yet, and I will come back to it, and inshallah we will see how those connections are going to work. Everyone with me so far? Okay, now go back and see how we can prove our statement. They connect whatever is before it to whatever is after it. Forget about fa. Mostly, it's your harf atf, right? Mostly we call it harf atf, and it's harf, so don't worry about it. Give me labeling for wail. Wailun. It's an ism. What kind of sentence are we looking at here? Jumla ismiya. What should I label wail as? Mubtada. Why is it common? I've been teaching you mubtada is proper. Why is it common? Musawwigatil ibtida bin nakira. So remember, very heavy term. So why is it common? If your mubtada is about dua or curse, it is allowed for it to be common, right? Salamun alaykum. Salamun is common. Wailun lillazina. Destruction be upon those who whatever. Because it is mubtada is about dua, right? Everyone with me so far? That is why it is allowed for it to be common. And this we have learned in few sessions before. Yeah, point number 6. Yes, Aisha. Okay. Mubtada we have found. After mubtada, what do you look for? Khabar or mutalik bil khabar? Do you see anything like that? Do you see khabar or mutalik bil khabar? We see a mutalik bil khabar because we have a jar wal majroor after it. So everyone with me? Now we have ism mawsool. Ism mawsool has an inseparable baby, infant, right? Does not leave her mother alone. Very clingy, very, very clingy. So what do you see? Where is it beginning? يكتب يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم. So can it be your sila? What kind of sila you have now? The next question that is already being answered, that it is jumla failure, that is your silatul mawsool. Barakallahu fi. Yaktubuna, give me the labeling for yaktubuna, my dear sisters, real quick. We have 10 minutes and I wanted to, do a little more, but may Allah put barakah in our times. Mudare, what kind of mudare? After I look for mudare marfu, majzum, or mansub. It is marfu bi subutin noon, barakallahu feek. Where is the pronoun? Do you see the pronoun in this mudare? Waw is the pronoun. What's the status of this waw? This waw here. What's the status of this waw? Rafin status is the doer of the fi'l, right? Yeah, so this is all done. Now I will go to al-kitaba. They write. What do they write? Al-kitaba. Nasbin status. Nasbin status. Maful bihi. By all means, right? There is no other labeling for this word. Al-kitaba is by maful bihi. Bi-aydihim. Bi-aydihim. Jar wal majroor. And again, aydihim is my idafa. It's going to be entirely labeled as mutalik bil fail. Is this whole sentence not connected to whatever is before through your sila? Is connection not made? Woe to those who write books, those who they write book with their own hands, with their hands. Can you now connect things here? Okay, now the next one. Innal lazina. What are we going to give it? A labeling. Now, harf nasab. And what should I call al-lazina? Ismu inna. Harf nasab wa ismuha. Harf nasb wa ismuha. After I found my harf nasb wa ismuha, what is my next step? What is the next action that I look for? I go for khabar. But before doing that, I have to have one thing. Should I go look for my khabar or should I look in this case for my sila first? Should I look for the baby or should I go and start looking for my khabar? Baby. Baby. It's an infant. Think of it as one that has been, premature baby as well. So let's look at the misery what the baby is in and the clinginess the baby has. So do you find your silatul mawsool here, my dear sisters? Yes. What is the silatul mawsool? Is it a jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, or a fragment? Kafaru, kafaru. Give me the pronoun for this kafaru. If it is jumla fi'liya, every fail has a pronoun. That is what makes it a fail, and that is why it cannot be a verb. Waw is the pronoun. What's the status of waw here? Rafin status, and this is referring to they. Indeed, those who disbelieve. Now, you are going to translate it as indeed those who disbelieved, right? Indeed those who disbelieved, right? What do I see here? Yes. So the whole thing, this here, I should bring the whole thing here. And that's a difficult concept. Yes. So your jumla, I will leave it as such. I will not go into the labeling of this jumla yet. I will teach you it later because sawaun alayhim anzartahum illam tunzir. Let me not say it wrong. Let me just show you the verse completely. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Bismillah. And here we are. Okay. This whole thing is also, you know, this here, you just forget about this for now and think of la yu'minuna innal lazina kafaru. Forget about this for a minute, okay? And inshallah, with more grammar, I will teach you how to, deal with this one. But the example was there to teach you how ism, harf nasab wa ismuha can be, the can be the form the alazina will present itself in. So alazina can be ismu inna. So here inna lazina kafaru, and if I ask you to forget about this part and la yu'minuna, what kind of a khabar now do you have? Yeah, what kind of a khabar? Inna lazina kafaru, what kind of a khabar now you have if you have to deal with la yu'minuna? Jumla failure. Okay. Indeed, those who disbelieve, they will not, believe. They will not believe. So it is Jumla failure. And is it all connected or no? Do you see connections? Right? So is it doing its job, whatever it's supposed to do? Lazina is doing its job. Sirat al-lazina. Al-lazina. What kind of a sila you have now? An anta. Al-lazina. Sirat al-lazina, path of those who. An amta. Jumla failure, right? An amta. Who is the doer in anamta? Give me the, do you see the doer? Yes. Ta is the doer, ta'ul fa'il. Ta'ul fa'il. Right? Ta is the doer, that is ta'ul fa'il. Alayhim. What is an idafa? Alayhim is an idafa or jar wal majroor? Alayhim jar wal majroor is connected to you. An amta alayhim. An amta alayhim. Your sila ends Sirat al-lazina an'amta alayhim. Your sila ends at alayhim. Okay? Any question? Anyone? So far. We will look at the i'rab of the word, the haraka on the word. Now I know that I have my sila was jumla failure. My sila was jumla failure and amta alayhim, right? Now I see a word after it that is in jar status. That does not make sense. What is a word in jar status doing in my jumla failure? Right? Should it be there or no? Right? I will look at the word that is after it. That's why we are so focused on the harakas, the ma, fatha, kasra. Why I take you, okay, look at the end of the word, look at the beginning of the word. Inshallah, how you are, alhamdulillah, mastering everything, you will master this concept as well. Okay? So ghairi was kasra. So I know that no, now there's no connection. That's the only reason I said that, my sila ended here, because there's no point, how come, a word is coming here that is jar in status and the ism that is jar in status and without any reason. But can you connect this ghair to anything in the sentence? In the sentence that is being shown to you? What is the status of al-lazina? What's the status of al-lazina? Real quick, jar in status. Ghairi is jar in status. Ghair is jar in status. So think about it. What can I connect it to? And how will I connect it to something that is before? Okay. So ghair is jar in status. Then comes, so one thing that is before it that is jar in status is what? Al-lazina. Did somebody write al-lazina? Right? Al-lazina was part of those who jar in status idafa. Ghairil maghdubi alayhim, not those upon whom wrath, who incurred the wrath of Allah, not those who incurred the wrath of Allah. Can it connect to allazina? Can it connect to allazina? Let's just do it. Very well done. You guys are master of grammar. Barakallahu fi, my grammar geeks. But let's do it step by step. So everyone is on the same page. Look at ghair. Ghair is it common or proper? And how we know it is proper, I'm going to look at the word after it, right? Because if there is something that is after it that is proper, because it comes as mudaf, right? It comes as mudaf. So it is proper because of it is ma'ruf, it is mu'arraf bil idafa. It is proper because of mudaf ilayhi, right? It is proper. Is it now when we are taking this construction together, is it talking about one person or multiple people? It is about they. So we can say that this is they as well, not those who incurred upon them the wrath of Allah, right? So number is also, we can say that their number is also matching, because idafa construction is going to be all together, right? Not those who incurred wrath of Allah. So they are matching in number as well, because how the word is, and this is little advanced, actually quite advanced, but we'll inshallah do it. But for now, if you understand it, not those who incurred upon them the wrath of Allah, it's not talking about one person, it is talking about him. So him and allazina together, they are matching, right? In number. Sis, so in by you can say yes, in that sense your sila will continue because of it being because of it being connected through idafa. But allazina anamta, sila is here, but ghair is the sifa for allazina. You understand? Sila is ending at ghair, at alayhim, and ghair is the sifa for allazina, right? Is it making sense, Mr. Amri? Now there is another connection between allazina and ghair. Huh? Sila has ended there. Huh? And now they are the connection is through mawsuf sifa, right? This is mawsuf, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, together all are connected through to the another relationship. It makes sense, my dear sister? Okay, so I have to end class here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. And